What's going on, Everly Sports? Back with another video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about Nick Gates and should the New York Giants re-sign Nick Gates this upcoming off season. I'm going to be doing a lot of these should the New York Giants re-sign videos. I did them with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I'll be doing them again here with the New York Giants. I'll be talking about the majority of the important and at least the key free agents for the New York Giants. And first up, we're going to be talking about Nick Gates. And I think that the timing for this video here is perfect just because of how big and, how big of a leader Nick Gates has been to this football team for quite some time. And Nick Gates is 27 years of age. He just turned 27 2 weeks ago, of course, and he plays a big role for that New York Giants offensive line. Last year he came to the year as a captain for this football team. And in week 2, he suffered that horrible leg injury. He broke his fibula and tibia, that's a big deal, and that's really tough to come back from. And he did that. He came back from it, and he's done a great job in the couple of games that he's played. He's 6'6", 320. He's a big guy. He could play left guard, center, right guard. That's where he has played and done well. Who knows? Maybe he could play the tackles, but the Giants haven't asked him to do that yet, and we probably won't ever have to. And hopefully, we don't have injuries with those two bookend tackles there that will need Nick Gates to play at the tackle position because he's great at the guard and the center spot. But he started 3 games this year, for the Giants. He started 3 out of the 5 games he's played. And he's been good in those games. You're looking at Nick Gates and just thinking about what he's done for this team. It's been really, really key. Stepping in on that offensive line. You take a look at Week 8. I really don't even count that as a game for Nick Gates because he was just in jumbo tight end situations helping out the run, and then he started 3 out of the 4 after that. And he was great. He started at left guard and center. I don't know the breakdown of which games he started at which, but I know he's really good at both spots. And I think that the Giants should absolutely, re-sign Nick Gates. I think he's key, to this offensive line, and he's a really big part to it. And he's still not old. He's just 27. And I think the Giants should absolutely bring him back on a 2 or 3 year deal. He's not going to make a whole lot, maybe $4 or $5 million a year. I don't know his market, but I feel like that might be his market, and I think that's an extremely fair price. If you can give Nick Gates a 3-year, $15 million deal, I'd certainly be on board for that. Not only would he bring to the Giants on the field, but even off the field in the locker room and in the community. He's an extremely good guy, and he's really, really good. He's I believe I saw something on Twitter about his PFF rating being top 10, in the first 2 games, or something like that. That's huge, right? Obviously, let alone for anybody, but especially a guy who's coming off the injuries that he's been off of. He didn't play for 410 days. That's crazy, right? So, the fact that he was able to even come back from that injury, they thought, he had 7 surgeries. They thought he might not be able to walk ever again. He might, let alone, be able to play football again. So he's done an incredible job of, sticking to it and keeping his mind there to come back. It's a really crazy. It's a great comeback for Nick Gates. It's a crazy comeback story. And if he were playing at the skill positions, he'd probably be the comeback player of the year. People don't know him as much because he plays on the offensive line, but he's a warrior, and he's really good. And I love him at the left guard or center spot. And I'm more than fine. I think he could be not a long-term piece, but a long-ish term piece for 5 years. If he's starting at, the interior offensive line or the center position for the next 5 years, for me, there's no concern at that position. Is he, one of the more elite guys in the league? No, but he's able to hang in there, and he's able to stand up for the quarterback. He sticks up for Daniel Jones all the time. I remember 2 years ago, I believe it was, when he had that fight with Aaron Donald because he hit Daniel Jones hard. He's just that type of guy, right? He is just really good. I really, really love him. And he's a guy that I would absolutely bring back. Now, I'm not, like I did with the Leafs predictions, I didn't make predictions for this. I'll call it a series of should the Giants re-sign. I'm not going to make predictions, but I think it is possible, and I think it might be likely that the Giants bring him back. And there's certainly going to be interest, mutual interest. And I hope the Giants bring him back, especially if it's at an affordable deal. Like I said, 3 years, $15 million would be, ideal for me. I'd love to have Nick Gates back here. For me, he cements an extra, a third out of 5 spots there on that offensive line, and there's no worries with Nick Gates there. He could play the left guard, center, right guard. He's a flexible, versatile piece to that offensive line that I would absolutely bring back. Love Nick Gates. I think he can fill a void there, and at least you don't have to draft for a specific position on that interior. Right? You could take a guy, if he's a left tackle or a center or right guard, whoever you like best, you take him, and Nick Gates could play the other position because he's that good and that versatile at each position. But guys, that is all I got in this video. You guys let me know down in the comment section your thoughts on Nick Gates. Would you bring him back to the New York Giants? Like I said, I would bring him back, but I'm not making predictions for whether or not the Giants will bring him back. I would love to have him back, though. I just really love Nick Gates, and I think he deserves a contract with the Giants. Let me know all that good stuff down in the comment section. And as always, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We'll see you guys all in the next video. And as always, let's go Giants.